Hey guys, Breyer Horse Lover _ 312 here. I am back with part 2 of the updated Breyer Barn tour, and things have shifted around a little bit since the first part of the barn tour, so just bear with me, it'll be fine, okay? So let's get into it. Okay, so this is about where we left off in part 1 of the updated Breyer Barn tour, so this is where we're going to start again. So first we have 2 hay bales that I just got from Michael's. They're this little orange tabby cat named Zodiac. Some of the girls call him Zozo. Our feed chart, which needs to be updated. I just haven't got around to it yet. And then some feed over here. I'll show you. Right here is like corn. Some flew out. Corn seeds, which is, it's not very realistic, but you know, it adds detail. And then in here it was the wild rice blend, which is over there in the grain blend, which some horses actually have in their stalls and their feed buckets right now. We have some buckets, some hay bales, some bedding in like buckets. I just put it there because the shop looks empty. Some supplements. Right here we have a hay net I made, and then a little like bucket thing. And then right here we have our main feeds. And then this one is just crushed up crackers and rice. I'm not actually going to show it to you because I don't want to unscrew it right now. And right here we have just white rice and flaxseed. And that's the grain and pellet mix. And right here we just have some grain, which is white rice. And right here is the grain blend, which is also was in that little bucket over there, which lots of horses have in their stalls at the moment. It's just the wild rice blend. Yeah. Oops. Okay. So, as you can see right here is our bucket of scoops, which goes right there. And then we have some horse treats. It's a horse treat box made out of paper foam or whatever you call it. Some horse treats, which is this rolled up yellow clay. And then we have some more treats over here. We have some apples that I made out of clay. Some honey coated grain, which is just that rice, flaxseed, and those yellow, what are they called? Balls of clay. And then we have some peppermints and some carrots, which I also made out of that clay. And then we have some more supplements over here, which you can't really see, so just hold on a second. And right here we just have some calming supplement, which is just basil leaves. Some muscle support, which is just like cinnamon. Some bone support, which is like flaxseed stuff. And some pain, which is just cornstarch. So right there's a mixture of some of them. So let's get into the oops, I almost forgot. We have our little clipboard and pencil. I actually made this pencil a little bit too thick. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then this is our wash stall. So as we go over here to the wash stall, first up we have our cross ties. There's one on this side and one on this side. It's just like a piece of string with a lobster clasp on it. So then if you're in here, your horse won't get loose when you're trying to get them tacked up for a ride or trying to wash them. And over back here we have a bucket with wet scraper. It's made out of clay, a comb, and like a little sponge. And then over here we have 2 sponges in this bucket. Little sign that says wash stall. Some hoof treatments and oils. A hose I made out of string and like, you know those little clasps that you can, I don't know how to explain them, but they're like, here, if it'll focus, you can kind of see. Like, you know, those things. So that is the hose, and then up here we have a little hook if you want to put your horse's halter on there, or bridle if you're tacking up in here. You have the cross tie, and in here our puppy Clover is in here at the moment. So that is the wash stall, and we will go on over to our little storage unit. So this is our little storage unit, and back here we have some jumping poles, a jumping set, some dressage, a dressage arena set, which is just popsicle sticks and the little clay things. And then we have our dog. She does not actually have a name, so if you do have any names, you can comment down below for her. She is like a collie. So yeah, and then we'll get into our tack room. So this is our tack room, and I will start over here. And first up over here we have our little charts of markings on the horse's legs. If you wanted to read that, you can just pause it. So that's that. And right here we have some saddle pads. And down here we have our grooming boxes and kits, a first aid kit, some more grooming supplies. Then right here we have our pony saddles and bridles and saddle pads, our awards and ribbons. And over here we have, I'll move this ribbon. We have a clipper, some of the farrier's tools, and some trophies. Down there we have the farrier's pants that he uses. I don't know what they're really called, but if you do, you can comment down below or whatever. And right there we have some face markings of the horse. If you would like to read that, you can just pause. And right there we have the barn key. And then right here we have a saddle. This is the only saddle I did not make. This one's made by Breyer. That one right there I did make. It's a Western saddle, and then 2 English saddles. And right there we have a little description about the horses at the barn. That as well needs to be updated. I just did not get around to it yet. Right there we have a lasso, a bridle, another bridle, a few other bridles. And those I did all make. Right there it tells parts of the horse. If you would like to read that, you can pause it. Some bits and another sign that says the skeleton makeup of a horse. And then we have some halters. I did not make those. Those are made by Breyer. And then over here we have like the borders, tack boxes, and all that fun stuff. And right here we have Amber's dressage saddle. It does not, I did make it, and it is not the best. Like it's stiff because it's made out of that foam paper, and it doesn't bend around the horse's back. Like it sticks straight, and it's pretty crappy, but whatever. And then we have our calendar, and it says January, because yes, it is January. It's freezing out. And then right here we have our Amber's tack box right next to her saddle. I'll show you what's in it. Inside she just has her horse's bridle, her jacket, her hat, and the other riding stuff. And over here we have Austin's tack box. Right here he has some wraps for his horse and his cowboy hat. And in his tack box he has his horse's harness for pulling the sleigh, his bridle, and some other stuff. And then this is Haley's tack box, and here she just has her horse's bridle, a rope halter that I made. In one of my pictures on Instagram, you probably see it. And her hat and one of her riding crops. And then over here we have Savannah's. Here's her hat. And then here she has a couple bridles, a couple rope halters for her horses. She has 2 horses at the barn since her grandpa does own the barn, if you didn't hear me say that in part 1. And so yeah. And then over here we have a fly sheet in this. And then this is one of the lesson girls, Chelsea's riding jacket. Some helmets that just fell. And then here we have extra equipment. And then here we have a sponge, brush, lead ropes, other stuff. Just a bunch of extra stuff. It's on there. And then right just put this back real quick. And then we have a little moss ball, and then we'll get over to some stalls over here. And then over here we have Paradise's stall, aka Zenyatta. And here's her name tag and her nameplate and halter and lead chain. Right now she's just chilling in her stall. And over here we have Autumn, aka Don't Look Twice. And there's her nameplate and halter and lead chain. She's just in her stall at the moment. And then over here we have Marley, our border collie. She's just running around. She's a barn dog here. And then we have some more snow. And over here is the main barn, but I will get to that later. Do not worry. And then over here we have some mucking out supplies. We have some shovel, buckets, and other stuff. And then up here as we go up into the lounge room. So up in here is our lounge room, also known as Savannah's room. She lets the lesson girls and her friends stay up here if they stay the night or at camp. So right here is Chelsea. She's one of the lesson riders here. And here's Caliber, our German Shepherd puppy. Here's Savannah's bed, and she sometimes shares her bed with her friends Haley and Amber. And over here we have a fireplace with a little model horse on top. And this is actually a candle. I can actually put it on if you want to see it. So yeah, it's a fireplace. And right there we have Andrea, another lesson rider, reading a book or magazine of horse accessories. And right there we have Misty, our little cat, and on her little bed. And then over here we have our Christmas tree that I still haven't taken down yet, and a sleeping bag. And then right here we have our TV. There's some little notes on the desk and some more magazines. This one is horses. The other one that Andrea's reading is horse accessories. There's just little cutouts of actual Breyer magazines. So if we go back downstairs, we get to our main barn. Yay!